Just ordinary people, extraordinary people. Have a conversation with Gina. Have a conversation with Gina. Experience the yeah. Auntie Gina, sing with Gina. Gina motherfucking Fletcher. Gina motherfucking Fletcher. Welcome to my house, church unusual, where we say namaste. I see God in you, you see God in me, and we want you to come back to stay. I wrote that, Here we go. Welcome to my house, church unusual, where we say namaste. I see God in you. You see God in my pussy. No. And we want you to come back to stay. Good morning, good afternoon, Grand Rising niggas, hello! John Logic, the producer extraordinaire who hugs like a teddy bear. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm great. Good morning. How you doing?
Anissa Remy, my co-sis, how are you, baby?
Hi, Gina.
But
Hi,
check this out. Check this out. Who did that song? Who did that title song? Who did that?
Which title?
John, who sang that?
Fletcher. The song you just played?
No, the first one. The first one.
Oh, yeah. People's gonna have a kick out of this because we was talking about this. I actually programmed. I plugged in your jingle into some AI to make it sing for you. So the computer, that was Gina motherfucker Fletcher featuring the computer.
Yo, do you know I had to put some makeup under here because I started crying when I heard that? Ja, you put that together?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ja, listen, Ja. I don't know where you came from. I know your mother's womb, but that to me, taking time to do that for me. And I don't even have money to pay you yet. That's the thing. For something like that, you should get paid thousands of dollars for that. Hold on.
We in this together.
No, son, listen.
We'll get there.
I have never heard a tribute like that. You took everything that I do and you put it together. That was beautiful.
Love you too, Gina.
Am I able to hear it now? Can you play it right now again?
Sure.
Can I hear it now?
Yeah, let's do it.
I never heard it before. It's my first time hearing it.
It's funny enough, I played it in the background when you and Stevie J was talking shit to each other during that episode.
It's pretty.
Just ordinary people, extraordinary people. Have a conversation with Gina. Have a conversation with Gina. Experience this. Oh God, Auntie Gina. Woo! Singing Gina. Gina motherfucking Fletcher. Oh! Gina motherfucking Fletcher. Oh! Oh God. Oh my God. That's when I was thinking of a talk show that I'm going to have. This is the kind of music that I just wanted. Just encapsulates. I can't believe it. I'm so grateful.
God does give you the desires of your heart.
Thank you, until he gives me some $1 million. This is my $1 million right now. Oh God. Thank you. Oh God. Lord have mercy.
That's your background music. Now go ahead.
I love it.
Ooh.
She is blessed, and it's just going to keep coming in. She's a blessing for all of us. Today's a very special episode. So
it's church unusual, and who would have thought 40 years ago, 45 years ago, 50 years ago, that I would be talking to a man whose music, I'm not even going to talk about the pussy wetting part because that's minimal. But the perfection of his gift and his craft, that he has helped change the lives of so many people with his voice. For me to be talking to him, this is like, I hate to use the word like, it is analogous to an orgasm. Doesn't even tip the iceberg. Maybe squirting might do it. If I could squirt through my pussy right now through the screen, maybe you would see how amazing I feel right now. Because I'm trying to squirt. I mean,
Gina, you don't want to get electrocuted, so please be careful.
But how would I get electrified? You mean the squirt could connect with the electricity and electrify my pussy?
Yeah.
I'd like to know what that feels like. My pussy's been on fire before. Listen, if you ever been fucked by a nigga with some kind of disease, your pussy will be on fire, son. I'm just saying.
Wait, Gina, this is the
I'm
intro.
just saying. Hi, people.
all I can tell you is this: I want to say one thing. You make Howard Stern look like a Cub Scout. I mean, with the not just in conversation, with the uniform on.
Well, but for those who don't know who this is the one and the only balladeer, vocalist, just the throat, the tenor of tenors. And you know, when I say throat, I mean the throat goat for real when it comes to vocals. This man is just people, Bryson.
Listen,
You gotta give him another intro than that. You can't call him a throat goat. Don't call this man a throat goat.
I mean, no, not in these times, not in this climate. No, because I'm one of the ones that actually said no, and I'm one of those that actually didn't get approached that often.
Right.
Oh, so people, no man ever tried to fuck you for a song or an album.
Well, I think that there's some in me that says you will get your ass whooped. No, it's a man thing where you just know he's not the one. Don't try that with him. I don't.
Mhm.
There's nothing you can offer me. There's nothing you have that you can give me that would make me compromise my core beliefs.
Well, getting into that, and I just want to say thank you for being here. We segue right into it because I've talked to people off live, and he talks just like this. I mean, regular. So thank you for being your authentic self. I'm honored. You know that. From a fan point of view, I would, listen, I'm
a fan now.
Oh God.
No, I'm a fan.
I'm done by you taking time with the producer earlier to get the phone prepared, just call him, just everything, knowing that you're doing this because of who you are, and you're an Aries, so you stick by your word, and just amazing. So thank you, people. So
honor's mine.
What I want to do is just start from the beginning.
Go on then.
I don't need to know who you know. I don't need to know none of that shit. I want to know about you.
You can ask me anything you like.
At 10, where were you living? Who were you living with? What were you doing at 10 years old?
10 years old, we lived at 108 Goodwin Street in Greenville, South Carolina. It was the former home of a relative of ours. It's where we moved after we moved out of the house that I was born. My siblings and I were born in, and which would be 1230 Elford Street.
So, mother and father in the house, siblings. Who's in the house with you?
All my siblings, my mother, and her current beau at the time.
Her current beau.
Her current beau at the time.
Okay. There's some emphasis on that. What?
Her current love interest at the time.
Okay. Was he kind to you?
always. Salt of the earth. Saw me when others did not.
Mm. What,
Saw
what
what others did not see.
what do you mean by that? What do you mean? What does that mean?
Means that I was not the safe bet. I was a little bit too radical, yeah, and a little bit too bookish, a little bit too opinionated, a little bit. I got kicked out of Sunday school a lot, for asking the wrong questions, or questions that were considered to be obtrusive for whatever reason. But I've always been a little bit too smart for my own good. And I don't apologize for that. I learned not to stop apologizing for that by the time I was 10.
Right. So when we are in church unusual and you talk about, because you can't get kicked out of Sunday school.
Sure you
So
can.
what that kind of things would you do to titillate or provide
Well,
provoke?
something that did not make logical sense to me, but supposedly made sense from a theological standpoint. No, not like you. Why would God make a man and a woman and then not tell them that they're a man and a woman and not to go forth and multiply when he told every other thing in Eden to do so? So that's a question. And if you
Yeah.
can't answer it, then, you know, if you don't
Yeah.
know, don't double down.
Right. Don't double down. So what did you know you could sing at 10?
Yeah.
Were you singing in
Eternity.
the church at 10? What church did you go to? What
Oh no,
denomination?
no. Me and church. That I was never. I'm not one of those choir people that I wasn't invited to the choir. As a matter of fact, I was in high school. I was invited not to be in the choir. Asked
Because
not
of your
to.
mouth? Because of your mouth?
They said they didn't want my kind. I didn't know what my kind was.
Was it an
My,
all white school?
no, no. The academic all academic atrocities that committed against me were all black schools and black folk.
Academic atrocities.
Yes. Oh, I'm Dr. Bryson now. They can kiss my ass.
Right.
So, but then I was just a guy who knew too much for his own good. It's if you don't know, I mean, if you're going to teach American history, you better teach it to somebody that just doesn't just stupid
Right.
and has never picked up a book and read it.
Right.
So
Right.
if you're missing a whole lot of stuff, I'm going to point that out to you at some point and ask you if you want to borrow some of my books.
Right. Right. Right.
So
So
yeah,
go
that's
ahead,
going to
brother.
get you sent to the office. I mean, because you're challenging the black status quo. In other words, and if I had a nickel for every time a teacher said to me in the high school or school in general, "I got mine, you've got to get yours, and you got to come through me to get it." What are you, a linebacker or a teacher? And I want to know. I mean, so
You
it's almost
blocking
like,
my shit.
yeah, it's like, what? Why is this? Is this a competition? No,
Right.
I'm not trying to compete with you. I mean, you want me to. In other words, in order for me to get an education, you need me. Why do you need me to capitulate to you? What's that got to do with learning?
Ego.
Isn't it just? We could call it many other things, but let's call it what
Yeah.
it is. What you called it, ego,
Assholeness. So let me ask you something.
assholishness,
Say it again.
assholishness.
Assholeness.
Yeah.
And I usually have a word of the day, but I just said fuck it because I want to talk to you. But the word of the day is pugilism. That's the word of the day.
Okay, that's a good one.
People say I'm a mental pugilist.
Well, my word of the day is I was chatting with Ja earlier. The word for me, the word of the day is despotic.
Despotic. What does that mean? Despotic.
It's an uneven distribution of power. It's when uh, despotic power is uneven, unequal power over someone else, and you got everything else behind you, and they have nothing. I mean, it's an uneven balanced power, and when
Just
somebody
right.
uses that against you, it's like being stopped on a 2-lane highway at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're going to do whatever that state trooper says.
Right.
And
Right.
if you don't, somebody's gonna find your body later.
Right. Right. Right.
So that we have a despotic power. Use of it would be the Sandra Bland.
Yes.
That's abusive. That's this people, individuals and institutions that have despotic power always use it badly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's like it's like putting a group of men together on an island. Eventually, they're gonna figure something out to do.
Right.
It's not. You just become what your environment is, and
Right.
you take what's available to you and all that.
Yeah.
Unless you're a really really strong person,
Right.
and human beings aren't. People aren't strong. Human beings are stronger. Human beings are stronger than people.
Then people. Yeah. I thought the other way around.
I
Yeah.
basically categorically put all sentient beings into two categories: human beings who are capable of evolving and adapting, and people
Right.
who are totally unpredictable, bitter, jealous, envious, pissed off, stupid, and blind, too malleable, all of that.
Too easy to be. It's another great word, Malik. I love malleable. I love that word.
Yeah, I do too.
Um.
Easy
So
to
now,
manipulate.
yeah. So let me add like my vagina at many times in my life.
Exactly. It's you got a real serious Freudian thing running through everything that almost comes out of your mouth. I mean, it's a real Freudian thing. It goes right to the heart of your sexuality. Always. It relates. I love it. It's
Feel me.
I know, right?
I wanna feel the fight. Okay. So,
And oddly enough, that song wasn't about that.
what was that song about? Feel the fire.
Well, I had this. I made my record company buy me a Fender Rhodes piano, and set it up in the by the sliding glass doors that led out to a courtyard. And this serious, violent thunderstorm came up, and it was lightning strikes and everything. So I was like, "Let me turn this thing off. This thing is becoming like a lightning rod." So I turned it off for a while, but I was working on something. So I turned it back on, and suddenly a lightning bolt hit the tree out in just outside my apartment and split it in half. And I walked out and I could see the smoke and I could feel the fire from the lightning strike. I was
Are
like,
you serious right
I was like, that's when I was working on the composition already, but that's when I got the idea for Feel the Fire. That's where it came from. It was divine intervention, saving me from getting my own ass roasted. So like that was yeah, it was about divine intervention. My hands moving across the keyboard, based on providence and not my skill set at the time, and being inspired by a lightning strike to talk about the power of God in that moment, in that second, in that time.
I've been telling people for the past 4 years on social media, the lyrics have a whole different story sometimes, a lot of times. So I'm gonna get
It
to your
does.
talent in a minute, but since we're on the street right now, what was the incentive for I'm So Into You?
I, we all have those people those situations where we're far more into the person that we're attracted to than they are us. It's very common. We just don't like to admit it.
Say it again. Wait. Say that again, Mr. Bryson.
I'm saying that we all have these liaisons with people that we're far more into them than they are us, and we know it. We know it at the time. We don't like to own it because we don't like to say that we're in some kind of relationship or attracted to somebody that's not quite as attracted to us in that way. And being a person like me, I mean, you got to understand, it was a long time before I had anything to actually recommend me to anybody. So I wasn't the guy with the flashy car that grew up. I didn't even have a hoopty growing up. I didn't have a car until I had my first recording deal.
So after high school, what did you want to be out of high school?
I wanted to be what I am now, but
Really?
being a resident of Greenville, South Carolina, there was your hopes. You start trying to trim them down a bit to something more, a little bit more realistic, because of all the chatter that you're hearing.
Yeah.
So I guess my greatest hope at that particular point was to get a job at a Holiday Inn, working Thursday through Sunday and making a couple of $1,000 a week doing that. 1,500 would have been nice too.
Yeah.
But that was about as far as it went. And I was so into this girl who was very, very smart and very, very courageous. She was from Detroit. No, well, that'll help in terms of courage. She was from Detroit. And she wanted to be the first black member of the U.S. Equestrian team. And she'd get on the bus every day and with her saddle and her tack and go out and ride, the, pursuing her dream and all that kind of stuff. And I met her when she was in undergrad at Knoxville College, and we got talking. I really admired her a great deal. She's one of those people that said, I want to leave my mark on the world. I think I'm going to go join the Peace Corps. I want to see the world. I've seen them. I'm going to start with America. Then she becomes a stewardess for Delta. And when she sees it all, she decides that she needs to join the Peace Corps. So the next time I speak to her, she's in Monrovia, Liberia. So she actually went to Africa to change something, leave it a better place, and she found it.
Right.
So that was inspiring. I mean, if somebody is not just talking through their ass, they're actually saying things that they actually mean to do.
Right.
And it gets in, and so she looks at me. She's sitting on my porch and says, "What you're looking for, you're not going to find here. You're going to have to leave your comfort zone and all that's familiar to you, and take your chances with everybody else. If you want to piss in the tall weeds, you can't do it here. You'll just be a big fish in a little pond." Okay, so now I got to leave home. So I get the courage to leave home, leave everything that's comfortable for me to pursue my dream. But before I do that, I have a serious chat with God. I'm down on my knees and I'm asking for the impossible to be made possible.
How old were you at this time?
Probably 21,
Okay.
22, 21. I would be 21 at that point. 20, 21, 21. I'd be 20, 21 at that point, and I promised God that I would not let my core beliefs fall below the place that they always held in my life, and that there will always be something. If he blessed me with fulfilling my dream and my hopes and my pursuits, that my family and my core beliefs would always be more important than my job and my success. That's the deal I made, and I've kept it.
So what was your first record deal?
Bang Records. Actually, my very first was actually prior to that. A friend of mine I went to high school with made a deal for me at Atlantic Records, but he made that deal standing on a milk crate on the corner of 116th and Lenox. So I go to it's more money than I've ever seen before in my life, and the offers to change my life again. I'm a guy that has nothing to recommend himself. I wake up one day and there's a 2-seater Benz parked in front of my house with a red bow on it. and there's a envelope in the glove box, and there's a stack in there, and the keys to a house my mother and my sister and I used to clean up in the park where no black folks lived.
Who gave it to you?
My friend. And I didn't take it. And he
What
was a
friend?
friend.
A lady or man?
A friend, a guy I went to high school with. I don't know where that money came from. I don't know how he did it, or no.
Wait. Was he attracted to you or something? You want to fuck
No,
you?
no, no. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. No. Or at least I don't think so.
There you go,
Never.
Bebo.
No, no. It
There
never.
you go. You don't know.
It was never mentioned to me.
Bebo, you don't know. But you know why? Because you are blind to it. That's a gay move.
No,
Give a nigga money and a car? What?
No, and a house for my folks and all that kind of
Wait
stuff.
a
Changed my
minute.
life. No, my talent was real. So he knew that. That's not the thing. And I got the deal at Atlantic Records because it was payment of a gambling debt, not a gambling debt that he owned, that was due to him. No, seriously. And so oh yeah. Oh, and Henry Allen, when I turned that check down, Henry Allen looked at me and said, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Nope." He said, he said, "Why?" I said, "Because of the how this deal was made and why it was made and how it came to be." I said, you guys are just going to put a record out, shoot it up against the wall. If it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I'll be right back where I started. Nowhere. And I said, I don't want to do that. I want to go to a smaller boutique label that will concentrate on me and developing the skills that I want to develop. I want to make my own music. I want to write it. I want to write it. I want to compose it. I want to produce it. I want to do it all. And he said, well, where are you going to go? I said, well, I'm going to go to Bang Records. And he said, oh, I didn't know that. He knew them. And I said, oh, yeah. He said, actually, that's not a bad idea. So I went. I turned him down and went to his rival. I didn't know at the time that the company I was going to, they had ties with Atlantic Records themselves. Her first husband was Burt Burns, who wrote "Twist and Shout."
Twist and Shout, right?
He wrote "Take a Little Piece of My Heart." Janis Joplin, right? He wrote "Cry Baby," and he wrote a little bit of "Soap" and several others. I mean, it's like he was a guy. He was this boy could write for R&B artists. I mean, and that was unusual. But I went there, and now I go there, and that's when I get my first car because that's in the deal that I wrote out in longhand because I couldn't find because I couldn't find a music business attorney. I got I wrote it out in longhand, and I wrote it out, and I had a notary sitting right there. Yeah. I devised my own recording contract. Yep.
So what was your first big record?
Suddenly, my first project, we put this record out. It was called I don't know, Underground Music or something like that. I think it was. And on the B side of it was a song called "I Can Make It Better." And one of the DJs was playing it, and then he just flipped it over and listened to the B side.
I can make it. No, not that one.
No.
How's it go?
I could see it in your eyes. Your feelings can't decide, but I believe I can make it better. They heard it, and so it ended up, both sides went top 20. Both sides.
So was that the most money you ever made ever in your life at that point?
At that point, I had turned down more money than I'd ever made.
Okay.
So it was.
Is that you with that afro?
I'm afraid so, and that's after getting it
Look
cut.
at
I got
Debo.
that's after getting 4 inches of it cut off.
What?
Yeah.
You got point. Okay, so now, what was the next big record?
I played all those songs that ended up on the Reaching for the Sky album for her, and she didn't like them.
Oh, my God.
So
Wait, hold on, people. Can we talk about Reaching for the Sky? Can we please talk about that song and why and what? Please go ahead.
well, so she didn't like any of those songs. They were too inspirational, and they were um a little bit too positive, a little too preachy for her, and all that. But if you have something to say, say it, and don't be afraid to say it. If you want to inspire people, then say something inspiring. Um, and songs like that, uh, and Feel the Fire's on that album, and and then you got Hold On to the World is on that album. You got all these really great songs that are truly inspirational. And actually, the original project on Bang Records was all about the girl who told me to leave town. They were all about her. So so you ask how I'm So Into You comes along. It's still a part of my relationship journey in that I was way into her. She was not that into me. It turns out that she was faking it, and she was actually more into me than I was actually into her. I didn't find that out 2 years later.
Well, since you brought this up, you're happily married now.
Yep.
You're 74 years old, got a 7-year-old boy. And how many other children you have?
He has a sister who's exactly 50 years older than him.
He has a daughter 50 and a son that's 7.
Right.
So we know his dick still works. We know that.
Oh.
And he's happily married, right? So, but can we talk about your life with the bitches? You ain't got to name no names, but I can imagine all the pussy that you got.
I don't kiss and tell unless you got a Random House deal with waiting for my signature.
I don't want to know who. I don't want to know no names, but
Yeah.
I remember going to a concert at you were at the Garden.
Throwing panties on the stage and all that, that's real.
No, listen, sir. I was at a concert in New York you were at.
That looks like.
And I'm telling you, women were having orgasms standing up. Women were sitting in a seat masturbating. I'm telling you, I've seen bitches with fingers in their pussy at your concert.
It's true. That part's true.
I know. I was one of them, nigga. What's wrong with you?
One of the most
I was
interesting.
in my 20s at a concert. Are you kidding me?
One of the most interesting interviews I've ever had was with this woman who was forced to come and see me in concert to write about me. And she was looking around, she was seeing all these odd reactions to me and my presence on stage, and she was like, she started to write her piece like from her perspective of seeing all these women reacting to me, and she's like, "Who is this fool? Who is this guy?" It's like, why don't I know it, and why am I not reacting like everybody else is? She didn't know me, so this is her first time seeing me in concert and all that.
Yes, Lord.
And so she was like, she said, "Well, damn, this cat may be the exorcist," or it's like she thought I was a demonic presence or something, because it's like. Because of those reactions that you're talking about.
Yes.
I don't.
That's the pussy whisperer. People, the pussy whisperer.
Yeah. Now I was that. Now for a while.
Thank you.
I was that for a while. And here's the thing. It's like owning a really powerful gun suddenly. And somebody, it's like you. It's not, and having an arsenal of bullets and all that. You can,
wait,
hold on. So, and what you got to figure out at this particular point, Gina, is this one thing: who not to kill, and when not to kill. We're not to kill. We're not to shoot. best metaphor I can give you. Yeah, because it's not the gun that kills people. It's people that kill people.
No, it's the bullets.
This thing right there that you're looking at on that still happens.
You got it. He said it's like a loaded
so
gun.
Like a really big gun, a lot of bullets. And Arsenal of bullets that you could never run out. You could never run out of bullets. You got to decide when not to kill, when to put this gun up, when to hang your gun up, man. Hang your guns up. I could have started a cult, of course. If you ask me, I'm being honest. There was a time in my life I could have started.
And you're going too fast. You got to slow your roll, people. Wait a minute. Wait. Hold the fuck up. Hold up. I'm about to choke over this.
The pussy cult.
I'm just saying.
My God.
I could have started a cult. Because here's the thing. Yeah, I'm a guy with all that power you're talking about, but I got one moral flaw. Want to know what it is? What it was? I had a conscience. that will. Let me tell you something. A conscience will fuck up your sex play and your sex pleasure quicker than 6 children will. I'm just saying. I mean, you know, everybody that's a parent knows that kids are cock blockers. That's what I mean. Their crumb crushers are cock blockers. I mean, you know, my little boy, he comes to the top of the stairs like, and says in a deep man ass voice, "Mommy." And I'm like, I said, your boy calling you. It's like he knows we just got busy. Why you bothering us? Take your ass to sleep. You know, he knows that we just got busy, but you don't. But I'm just saying, that's the
people. I gotta go to the bathroom. Keep talking.
No, you go on then. So you asked, Gina asked about, I'm saying to you, there were only 2 people that liked it when I wrote it. My older sister Agnes liked it, and my manager David Franklin liked it. Other than me, there were only 2 people that liked it. And when I asked Lonette McKee after I recorded it, I asked her, I let her listen to the project, and I said, "What do you think?" And she said, "Well, I think you should just scrap the whole thing and start all over again. And you should not use your band. You should use the cats, the dudes, the serious studio players." I said, "That's what you think, huh? Yeah." I said, "Well, I'm gonna play the hand that I dealt myself, and I think it's fine. Actually, I think it's better than fine, but I respect your opinion. I'm just not going to do that shit." Turns out ends up being my first number 1.
That's what's hey, they
you know, so you guys can't listen. You can't listen to somebody. No one has the wherewithal to decide who you are, what you are, what your portion is. And if you understand that, then you only fall prey to that if you put your faith in people to start with. I don't put my faith in man.
Right. They're trying to guess your wife's age in the chat.
My wife was of childbearing age, and I knew that when you know, I thought to myself, look, I've written 1,000 songs about my wife, 1,000 songs, and you know, every man has this secret image and of some of his ideal woman. We don't talk about it much. Doesn't mean we don't share it. John knows because he got one himself. He's had it.
That's a fact.
You have this image in your head, and I was trying to make all these relationships work, and actually going a little bit too far and staying a little bit too long, and decided that that was not that was an exercise in futility that I did not want to keep repeating. And so I was talking to Nancy Wilson because uh, I wanted to know. I said, "Shit, how the hell did you stay married all this time to this one person? How did you make it work?" And she said, um, she that her job and his job that they had to be apart at specific times and all that.
Hmm.
And it reminded me of something that I read when I was 14 that said, uh, be together, but let there be spaces in your togetherness.
Mm.
Eat and be full, but not
Wow.
and quench your thirst, but not from the same cup.
Mm.
And I said, okay, now I get what that really means. It means you can't be at each pockets all every. There got to be space. Give me a minute to miss you, and let me give you a minute to miss me. I mean, even if my character is irritating to you, uh, if you stay away long enough, I'll miss it. You know, that's just
Yeah.
human nature. You'll miss it.
Yeah.
Is my little boy annoying? And yeah, does he like taking the piss? Sure, he likes to take the piss out of his dad. Do I miss it? Yeah, I do. I mean, he's been gone a couple of weeks now. You know, it's like I miss it. Heck, everybody who's nervous to get some misses him at this particular point. They can't wait for him to come back. He's here. I mean, but adorable, and that's what I was. So I understand. I get that. So you don't,
Right.
you know,
So people, so let me ask you this. Usually I try to do a little trivia on somebody I want to know something about. I ask them just random questions.
sure.
'Cause, I want to know who you are, and I know people want to know who you are. So but mine start small and random. Like what's your favorite color? Simple like that.
Well, I don't really have a favorite color. I like purple. I like black.
Purple's
Uh,
my favorite color, and purple and black is that's my thing.
I'm just saying, you know,
That's my thing for real.
I,
Everybody knows that.
right, you know, it's like it's like what I was talking about with Joy about this image, and so Nancy Wilson tells me you're not going to find what you're looking for here. You're going to have to go get it. And I said, what do you mean? She says, it's not here. What you want is different, and it's not going to be here. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. So I started getting these gigs in England. Sometimes it would be a gig I didn't like, and all that, but I've always liked England. But I would take any gig in England, and I would just go out randomly walking in the streets of England, hoping that I'm going to believing that I'm going to turn a corner one day, and there she's going to be. She's going to look at me and see me, and I'm going to look at her and see her, and we're just going to know. Now, I ran into people from my hometown in Greenville, South Carolina, walking around in these things in England, but not her. And I was like, it's like I ran into people like, who your mom and them again?
Yeah.
I said, and what are you doing here? I'm an exchange student at Oxford. No shit, from Greenville, South Carolina. And your mom and them is who now? Oh, I know them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Over on such and such street. Yeah. How do you like it? I hate it. I get this gig that James Ingram, my friend, calls me and says, "Man, I can't do this gig." He said, "The guy's crazy, but he's good people." He said, "Debbie ain't gonna let me go by myself." And I know that because she knows James. so, uh,
No, I don't know James.
so this James Ingram.
I know. Thank you for letting us know about you.
Okay, but James is saying, I told him about you. You want to do the gig? I said, yeah, I'll do it. So I get there. I talk to the guy on the phone. He is absolutely a nut, crazy. I go there for the first day of rehearsal. I look across the stage and I go, I'll be damned. There she was. I knew it. She didn't, but I did.
Where did you know?
I found what I was looking for.
What was it about her?
it's the one thing that jumps out to me. The first thing that jumps out is an odd one. Courage.
Mm.
Okay, you talking about, I'm talking about the physical. You see courage before you see
It's
the
like
skin tone, the hit, all that is.
well, it's like first place. Anybody that any woman that's as attractive as my wife is, that automatically puts me off. Yeah,
Why?
because
Why you
well,
saying it put you off?
I don't want to deal with your bullshit and your ego and all that and your entitlement and all that. I don't want to deal with all that shit.
Okay, wait. Now, so you're saying you have been privy to pretty bitches with attitudes a lot.
Oh well, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, because they think that they deserve me.
Wow.
That's different from me deserving them.
Right.
So and that's totally different from us deserving each other. And so I mean I can't find any common ground in that. I can't find a level playing field in that. So I don't want to play.
Okay, so in your dating history, prior to marriage, this marriage that is that you're in right now,
The
were
only
most
marriage.
women you dealt with were celebrities or in the
You know,
industry?
it's in, and there's my thing right there. I find that actresses are as mad as hatters. Uh, they've got some fucking issues, and it's like uh, decide on who you are and be that when you're not working. You got to be able to compartmentalize your characteristics, your character from the you from the characters that you have to play. You know, it's like so, and entitlement rubs me the wrong way with anybody. If it comes out because it doesn't come out of me. If I don't do it, you don't get to do it. I don't give a shit whether you like that or not. I don't give a fuck that it's unfair. Because
Right.
in truth, everybody has a right to get it when they get it, understand it when they understand it, not get it because you have it, because you've been able to assimilate certain pieces of data and information that they have
Right.
not.
Right.
But these are life is about choices. So
Right.
if I don't lie to you. Every serious relationship I've ever had in my life is set up for you not to have to lie to me about anything.
Why?
Because I don't like untruth. The truth means more to me than anything that you can possibly do or anything that you could possibly say or anything else you could possibly give me.
No matter what she says.
I don't give a shit about that. I don't care what you did, just that you fucking own it. Because what you did to me, and now it's mine. I fucking own it.
Is cheating a deal breaker for you?
No, I said whatever it is that you do, you gotta tell it like it was in sequence, feelings and all.
Okay,
All
now
that belongs to
wait. Now
me.
you're gonna make me
Oh
give up
yeah.
how I suck this dick, and I'm gonna tell everything how.
I'm gonna know, yeah, and why you did it. I want to know what your motivation was, and what you got out of it. So here's the thing. So you got to do all that shit. You probably want to hold up on some of that shit. you you're not all that you're not all that eager to run out there and do that if you got to tell all of that shit.
Right,
If
right,
you
right,
got to
right,
actually own it. No,
right,
it's mine. You got to give it to me. I don't want to go
right,
looking for it.
right,
I don't want to ask you questions. Tell it to me like it
right.
was in sequence,
Right. Give it up. Just
emotion
give it
by
up. Give it
emotion.
up.
And when you tell the truth like that in a comprehensive manner like that, it's mine. It's my hurt. It's mine to be hurt by or to get past. I'm the one that's got to do it. It's mine. It no longer belongs to you. And if you can't do that, that means that shit meant more to you than I do.
Mm.
Okay, Pastor People.
Woo!
I felt the Holy Ghost right there. So speaking of the Holy Ghost, when you were active in a single life in the industry, you ever contracted venereal disease?
Not once.
Really?
No. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Uh,
Because
I
you
used
didn't
to
use
get
condoms. I know you didn't use condoms.
No, I just didn't. I didn't take chances.
What
Mm.
does that mean?
I mean, it's just like it's like just because you can do something doesn't mean it's a good thing to do.
Yes.
And I'm a very practical person where shit like that is concerned. It's first of all, uh, what does it do to the person and all that? I mean, it's not like that's another part of the "I'm so into you" saga. It's
Uh-huh.
like a lot of women were a lot more into me than I was into them, you know.
Right.
And it's like I'm not shooting ducks in a barrel doesn't do anything for me, and using people doesn't make me feel good. Why would you want to continue to do something repeatedly that makes you feel badly about yourself later on? Why would you want
Yes.
to do
Listen, I've stalked a nigga. I know what that feels like. It's
that?
terrible. Now I stalked my ex 3 times. He lost 3 jobs because of me. It's horrible. It's horrible. But let me
I'm
ask you
just,
people:
I'm just,
have you
I'm
ever
just.
been stalked?
Oh yeah.
How bad?
Uh, Women masturbating and recording it while playing my music and pretending that I'm actually there, showing up with wedding dresses on and shit. It's like you ask and I said.
We got to hear more about this wedding dress.
Yes, honey. Trust me, I'm not finished with that, baby. I'm not finished. So it would be in your dressing room when they would show up, or at the show, or
No, they would show up with it on.
where? Where?
Constitution Hall in Washington D.C.
Did something happen to the sound?
Say again.
Okay. What'd you say, people?
I said she showed up at Constitution Hall wearing a wedding dress.
Had you ever met her before?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I find that if you don't freak out around people and if you stay calm, then they stay calm. Even I don't care how crazy they are. If you remain calm, they stay calm. You don't want to agitate or overexcite somebody who's gone that deep because
Right.
they're not they're not a part of reality and they're not responsible for they're capable of doing at that particular point. You don't want that. You don't want to exacerbate that.
Right. Now, I just want to say that I have heard throughout the years, because each celebrity has their rep or the jacket that they wear, their stilo.
Yeah.
And I said initially that because I only want to talk about you, but I am so interested in your dynamics with other people who I deem to be great. You know, I'm interested in
Okay.
that.
Go on then.
Okay. Now, it has been said by some, you're an Aries, that you were considered very strict in rehearsals, disciplined, not evil, not mean, but very diplomatic, strong boundaries,
Correct.
almost just like that. What you doing right now? Just like that. Just like that.
Okay, well here's the thing. It's like I had to say to my band, you have two choices here. You can stand on the sideline with your pom poms and cheer everybody else on, or you can put that shit down and walk up to the coach and say, "Put me in the game. I can win it for us." I said, "Now you got to decide which one of these you're going to be." And my keyboard players looked at me and said, "Well, that's Joe Sample, but that's Joe Sample right there." I said, "Yeah." And what's he doing? He's standing right there. I said, "Well, what's he doing standing right there?" He's watching me. Yeah, how about that shit? Joe Sample is watching you to see what you're fucking
No
doing.
sample.
He's listening to you to see what you're doing, what your thing is. That's admiration. Now you can either wear the pom poms for Joe, or you can put that shit aside, or you can. In other words, it's like I got this thing about privilege, about uh, I don't kiss anybody's ass under the auspices of privilege or for any other freaking reason. If anything, nobody should do that. And if anything, that's something that if you want to kiss somebody's ass, kiss your own ass.
I ask you, could you give a clue to somebody who wanted you to kiss their ass or you didn't kowtow to?
I'm not going to call down anybody. I'm not kissing anybody's ass. And if anybody that needs me, requires me to kiss their ass, can kiss my entire ass.
Okay, wait a minute now. Because I do know in the industry you're in, there are certain people who may have seen at certain levels of stardom.
There ain't no fucking level.
Go ahead.
If you there's never going to be a level where I'm going to kiss your ass or am required to. I'm not kissing anybody's ass. That's not who I am, and this is not something that you decide. It's not a decision. This is part of my inherent hardwired behavior. This
What
is
would
to
be
me.
considered? What would be considered kissing ass?
There's
right
only
now
one
for
way
you?
to kiss ass. You firstly you prostrate yourself in some way, shape, or form.
No, I'm saying.
And then you choose a cheek. I'm not. There's only one way to kiss an ass. I mean, there's only a few ways to do it. So I mean, and none of them are appealing to me. And not now. I mean, it's like now you can be a woman and you got a shot at it because if you got a great ass, you got a shot at it. But it won't be because I'm capitulating to you.
Right.
It's because I like your ass.
Okay, so what I'm saying now, what in the industry, as a woman, I would consider kissing somebody's ass if someone said, "Listen, you can go on tour with me if you suck my dick every night," you know, or well, that might not be a bad exchange. I mean, if it was the right person, but I'm saying, or somebody said, "Listen,
well, here's the thing. Let me put it to you like this. I was on a Christmas tour. It was a very successful one for 30 some years. And one year, a Scottish pop star was on this program with us, and we stopped for breakfast. We were touring on. We had these brand new Prevosts. We were all having breakfast and chatting about what we did on the tour buses to break the border. And she was talking about a game that her band liked to play called "What Would You Do for How Much Money?" And the item on the table was, how much money would it take for you to fuck a chicken? And it's like, and there was the $200,000 on the table, and they had no takers. She said she wasn't playing the game, but when the $200,000 was on the table, she started listening and paying attention. And so it got up to 250 and 300, and still no takers. And that really piqued her interest. Now she's riveted on this game. So the pot got up to $500,000 and still no takers. And she said she couldn't take it anymore. She said, "Hey, that's $500,000. I fuck producers for a lot less than that." And I was like, okay. That's when I heard her say that, that's when we became friends. We're still friends now because that's about as honest as you can get.
transparent, yeah.
And it's like that transparency to me that's a truth being told and nothing held back. That's sexy as shit to me, and it touches my heart in ways that music does, in ways that poetry does, and
Me
it touches
too.
me.
Me too.
It touches me
too.
like that, you know.
It's
and
orgasmic for me.
it is orgasmic. It
Yes.
ticks all the doggone boxes of pleasure, and
Yes.
that's.
All the G spots.
I mean, look, that that frontal lobe on the what is the left or the right hand side there. Well, and that's all that. So it's so for me, there's when you watch The Color Purple. When we watch The Color Purple, it's like we didn't just meet Mister for the first time. Shit, we grew up with Mr.'s ass. We know Mister was in every damn neighborhood.
I fucked a lot of misters.
Now, I'm just saying, Mister was in every neighborhood, and his daddy was in every neighborhood.
And they were cheap with the money too. The
Oh
misters.
man, them uppity niggas with the uppity not light skinned niggas that thought they were better than everybody else and all that kind of stuff. Because I'm not all black.
Right, right, right.
Bully for you. Too bad.
So people,
I
listen,
feel bad for you.
let me ask you, if I mention your collaboration with somebody, can you tell us your experience with the
Sure.
person? If I mention, okay, Michael Jackson.
Brilliant and probably business wise the most feared person on the planet. I mean, from some people that people feared Michael in business. In a boardroom, they feared him.
Why?
Listen, I'm just saying these people that feared him, and I'm not. They were the ones that were telling it to me. I wasn't telling it to them. I wasn't asking the question. They were
Right.
volunteering the damn information. These guys, I wouldn't let these guys buy me lunch because I don't want to owe them shit. They were scared of Michael, terrified of him. Said that he had the biggest set of balls that they've ever seen on anybody. They
Mm.
were terrified of him in a boardroom. I mean, it's like after Thriller, he brought his team in and fired him in person. Well, that is a set of balls.
How
All
did
I'm
he?
saying
How
is
did Michael treat you?
Michael was like this. He would rah for me, and he would pick up the thread of the last conversation we had 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
3 years past, we haven't seen each other. He walks up here and picks up from the last comment I made to him to the last comment he made to me. He will pick up the conversation right there.
Hmm.
That's extraordinary for one. My interaction with him is I learned early on. Don't let that innocuous fucking personality fool you. Don't leave your woman around him. He's worse than Drake.
What? Hey,
Yeah.
hey, hey! What are you talking about?
You didn't don't leave your woman with Michael. You didn't do that.
He got pussy like that?
I bet.
As if he couldn't get it like that. Shit, come on now. I mean, it's like that. It's like that's like asking me if what if Rick James had said, "Don't fire it up."
Okay, but you have personal experience with taking one of your bitches or something?
Oh, I had to. Honestly, I just spoke with her for the first time
What?
in 20 years. In about 20 years since I spoke with her over the phone, my daughter was talking to her on the phone and said, "You'll never guess who this is," and it was her. I took her to the Image Awards. And, she was one of those. She's a damn scientist, a freaking rocket scientist for sure, for real. Very attractive, seventh degree black belt. NASA paid for Spelman, Georgia Tech, and Stanford.
And her pussy was fire too, huh?
I'm just saying. So she's attractive, but she's a scientist, and that means that's Michael Jackson didn't mean shit to her. So to Michael, she was like a foreign creature, a new species. She didn't give a fuck about him being the king of pop or nothing else, the king of anything. As like you had treat him like she would treat anybody. He would have to prove himself to her intellectually, socially, and any other way.
All right, so he walked over to you and her?
Actually, we were sitting at the Image Awards. We were sitting there with his brother Tito, his wife, and Marlon and his wife, and Michael was the only person there that did not have a date. So we sat there for about 45 minutes. Nobody spoke to each other. So we
But
just
what's sitting behind you?
nobody was sitting behind us. The seats were arranged like that, where our backs were to nobody. It's so Tito gets up and introduces himself and his wife, and Marlon does the same. We nod at each other and we greet each other, and then Michael says, "Introduce me, introduce me." He's gonna, brothers are gonna be brothers, and like, fuck you, there he is, right there. Introduce yourself, So, so he does, and I introduce him to my date, and she's like, just unaffected that he's Michael Jackson, totally. He's looking at her like he's waiting on something that he's not gonna get because she's a damn scientist. She believes in her shit is like she's looking at Michael through a lens like this. The theory of Occam's razor. It's,
Right, 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 right,
you
right,
know,
right,
she's
right,
like that. So and Michael's
right.
never been put in that lens before. So he's like, and it was attractive. So I walked away to speak to somebody, came back, and Michael was sitting in my seat. I was
Mhm.
like, Michael. And he was so into it. I said, he didn't even respond. I said, Michael. He didn't respond again. I said, Mike. And he said, oh, what? I said, my seat. Get my seat, man. And he said, I'm sorry. Look, man, he was long and guts. And you know what she said the other day when I mentioned it? She said, I had forgotten all about that. Who the fuck forgets that?
But you
What?
didn't forget that shit.
No, I mean, what woman forgets that the night you rocked Michael Jackson's world? What woman forgets that?
Rock my world.
Yeah,
All right, but now what about Luther?
I I was a little pissed about the documentary because it didn't talk about the thing. It only touched down slightly on things that were, I think, really important. I think one of the things is this: Luther's it's an Aries too, you know, so it's
Yep,
our birthday's only a couple of days apart.
yep.
So, question is this: why would Luther Vandross, at the height of his career, need to share my fucking birthday in order to feel safe and loved and cared about? Why would you have to come to Atlanta to share my birthday so we could celebrate our birthdays together? He's Luther Vandross. He doesn't need to come to Atlanta to do that shit, but he had to because
Yeah.
it's nobody prepares you for the loneliness and the bullshit and the betrayal of people that you think are truly friends that's going to come in with a certain height of celebrity. It's going to happen, and that happened to him. It's like he just wanted to be around somebody that gave a shit about him, that didn't care that he was Luther Vandross, that treated him like a person, the person he was first and last. That's all, because we're not on stage all the time. He's not singing all the fucking
Right,
time. So
right.
so if you can't care about that portion of who he is, then you can't really care about it. You don't really care about him at all, do you? And he was good enough to know that. That's why that whole any love thing, that was true. Luther, what people didn't know is like Luther got his ass handed to him. Let me tell you something, and she was thorough. She was thorough. She walked the dog with his ass. And he felt like he needed to tell me about that. So I said, man, I don't look, if it's something you feel strongly about, go ahead. I'm your friend, I'll listen, but I don't need you you don't have to tell me anything. I don't need that. So I mean, we played phone tag a lot, and I finally catch up with him. And I said, man, what's up? What is it? He goes, oh, we're just getting older, man. I just wanted to stay in touch, and I realized a horrible thing for him, and it hurt me. And I really did try to be there for him in that way, because I realized he was afraid of dying, and he was having some kind of premonition about it, and he was afraid. And when you don't want to die, and you don't want to, and he's sitting around. There was a while he had to sit around and watch me have a pop hit that he did not have, and that was not fun.
Wow.
I mean, not that he would uh, feel some kind of way about me about it, and not that I would rub it in his face or in shit like that. That we didn't have that kind of relationship. He sang on my very first record in 1975. That first record on the Bang label. That one. I've known him that long. Long before he was Luther Vandross, and without my manager, quite frankly, you would never know him who the fuck he was. You would never know him. My manager got was his Larkin Arnold a job, because Larkin quit his job and he got him a job. And when he got him, finally, my manager worked on getting Larkin a job for at least 6 or 7 months. They're hard, and got him landed at Columbia. As payback for getting Larkin the job, He forced him to sign Luther Vandross, whom he did not want to sign. Nobody wanted to sign Luther. Big Luther, medium Luther, or little Luther.
Why? Why?
They just didn't. They didn't get it. They did not get it.
His voice was perfect. What did they not
They
get?
didn't get. They could. He couldn't get signed. I'm just telling you. They all turned him down.
So who was being signed at that time that they were into?
Anybody else that was being signed at that particular time, it's just wasn't. They were looking for a certain kind of guy, and
Well, Michael was big.
no, I'm just saying. But they were no. They were looking for a certain kind of. They were looking for these handsome guys. So I was on that fucking radar because
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew.
well, you're on that radar, but they don't. But when it's a people know there's a certain man thing. I mean, you just know. It's your gaydar or the lack thereof just goes off, and it's like that's not me, and it's that you don't have to say it. You don't have to
What happened to
proclaim
your
anything.
camera? I'm seeing half your head.
Oh, sorry. So you don't have to you don't have to proclaim anything or anything like that. It's just something inherent in your nature that will let people know that you are what you are. So and I also let them know that I'm not in judgment of you in any way, shape, or form either way. Even if I don't care if your thing is different from mine. I mean, I did work. I did pro bono. I did the original Harvey Milk gay pride
Wow.
thing. I
Wow.
did that pro bono twice. I'm sure. So I'm not. That's not my thing. It's
Yeah.
I'm all about you having rights to your choices in life. I'm all about that. I'll fight to the death for that.
Okay, so let me ask you about A Whole New World.
Okay.
That song. How big was that song for you financially? A Whole New World. Like really big?
Well, yeah. To be honest, you stop counting.
Oh, really?
No. Seriously. I mean,
Wow. Thanks.
when I asked about it once, I asked about Beauty and the Beast once, and they stopped counting at 28 million. At 28 million, they stopped counting. So it's like it was still selling. So I don't know what the final tally was or anything like that. You don't know.
What made you want to do that song? The duet. What made you want to do that song?
One, it gave me an opportunity to sing with one of I think what I think is one of the premier voices in music. I was aware of Celine Dion's instrument. She wasn't quite as aware of mine, but that's again that's subjective. You know what I mean? So it's so there's that, and also I mean the odd part about that, and two songs. What do they mean? What is it? We have to go Marcus Aurelius here. What is a thing in and of itself? What does it mean? What is its nature? What does it do? Beauty and the Beast is
Unbelievable sign.
but here's the thing. But Beauty and the Beast is an abject lesson to our children.
Right. Scribe
To
of
look, no, what is it
Ephesians.
for though? It's to look past the physical and into the character of a person. That's where the true beauty lies. If
Can you
there's a
sing a little bit of it, please?
I know I'm not doing that. It's like what?
I can show you the world.
It's not. Is that my line? I don't think it is.
Now wander over sideways and
Oh yeah. Okay.
on a man.
Now that song is that was the theme for South Africa.
A whole new world.
They chose that as a theme for the first year that they allowed Black South African women to enter
Really?
the Miss South African beauty pageant.
Wow.
Are you kidding me right now? I thought it was about Aladdin and the cartoon people.
No. They chose that as their theme. It was
Yeah,
all those other things.
that's what I'm thinking. Little cartoons in my head.
Oh yeah, but see that therein lies another thing. It's every hope and every promise rolled into one song. It's like everything that you hope for is rolled into that one song. Every good thing you ever thought and you ever pursued is rolled up in that song some kind of way. It's brilliant, and that's what it does.
So the one with you and Celine, and the woman, you're Regina Belle. The one with Celine was first, right? And then
Correct.
you're Regina Belle.
And if and the thing with Regina Belle is, if it's a difficult song, it's cake to her. It's really easy. It doesn't get difficult for her until it gets too simple. You know, she's absolutely brilliant. And you got to understand something. These songs don't come with like a primer. It doesn't come with a map or anything. It's only your personal interpretation.
Right.
Nobody makes one suggestion about how you sing it the whole time. Nobody says anything. The producer doesn't say anything. Nobody says shit. So whatever you give it, is what it has, and whatever you don't give it, it doesn't have. It's all up to you.
Stevie Wonder.
Well, first, I'm gonna give you
Be
a test.
kept, be,
I
tread
can
lightly, tread
show
lightly.
you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? Now, I gave you what you asked for. So, Stevie Wonder. I'm still waiting on that song that we're gonna write together. I've been waiting on it for the last 40 years.
Oh shit! Wait a minute.
I'm still listen.
What are
It's
you
been
talking
listen.
about?
It's years and years ago, about 40 years ago. Stevie said, "Misha, we need to write something together." I'm gonna tell how long has it been?
What, Stevie?
He said it to me the first time when we were doing a here in Atlanta doing what's the word I'm looking for? When we were proponents of Martin Luther King Day, we were trying to get that done and
Yeah.
and signed into law. Stevie came to a concert to do this portion of the concert
Right.
in Atlanta. As other
Where I am
people
right
did too.
now.
So he came to, we were lobbying for Martin Luther King Day. So it was in that exchange that he first said, we need to write something together. And I was thrilled about that, man. It's like, oh, I'm going to get to write something with Stevie. Yeah, about that. So every time I would run into him, I run into again a year or so later, he'd say the same thing. We changed numbers again and all that. A year later, or 2 years later, or 3 years later, with same conversation, same thing. So over 40 years, I stopped. So he would be talking, and I would be looking the other way. And so my MD and my road manager said, Stevie he's blind, but he can tell that you're not looking at him when he's talking to you. And I'm like, I said, I know, that's why I do it. He said, but his brother's not blind. And he said, Milton's standing right there. And it's like, oh, I was like, and I said, he tells him. I said, I hope the hell he does. He's got to stop telling that same freaking lie over and over and over again. So it became a thing. So my MD and my road manager knew exactly what was over the years that passed, knew exactly what Stevie was going to do. It went on so long that the last time he said it, Aisha took my number.
Oh, his daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the song took that's how long it's been.
Stevie Wonder, he needs his song, and I need to have sexual relations with you.
I love Stevie. I always
I want to have sex with him for real.
Well, listen, it's not that hard to do.
What? Thank you for telling me that, because I'm gonna tell you something. When I was smoking crack, two songs of his would be in my head. Not that it made me smoke crack, but it kind of.
My dreams.
Huh?
She's 1 out 4, 1 out months on the movie screen, singing to me. Too high, but I can't touch the ground. Well, you mean that's not it? That's not the song?
No, it's as.
Oh, I love that song.
And if it's magic.
Oh yeah.
Then why can't
those are two songs I love too. I mean, there's not a Stevie Wonder song that I don't love.
Thank you.
I'm
But I
sorry.
want
It's
to have
just that
sexual
I don't
relations.
have one that I don't love.
Well, there is one, and I have a hard time listening to it
What?
because it hurts so bad. Living for the City, it hurts so bad.
Mhm.
It hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. That nigga went to jail for just holding somebody's shit. He came from the country, and he's doing time for shit he never. Yo, that shit was cold blooded. Living just enough.
Just enough for the city. My man.
Da 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 da. Oh my God.
Mhm.
What is happening right now, God?
I understand that. There is.
People singing on the TV with me. Ah!
Lord, I'm
Yo,
just sturdy. I mean, I think, hey.
everything. But listen, when you know the song with him and his daughter,
What about
have you heard the
him?
song with him and Aisha?
No, I haven't. Well, no, I
It's called,
think I have heard it.
it's called How Will I Know? How will I know he loves me?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's bad. It's
Yeah,
cold blooded.
yeah.
It's bad.
Like I
Oh,
said, I
oh,
don't have a Stevie Wonder song. My wife was like, no, if Stevie's in this building, I'm gonna find him. I'm like,
me too. I'm gonna sniff him out. Listen, I'm gonna smell him.
all
Good
right, so I
morning,
did.
evening, friends.
I know.
Here's your friendly announcer.
We did let's see, we did a thing about his music, a tribute to his music in Vegas. It was Shaka Khan, myself, and yeah, me, Shaka, and somebody else. I forget
Okay,
what.
Dinah Ross.
Uh, we don't talk.
She's in Aries too, you know.
I know, but we don't talk. Well, it's like we did a couple of shows together, but even still she passed by. We just don't acknowledge it. We've never acknowledged each other's presence. Don't
Phyllis
know
and
why
I.
that is. I don't know why that is. I mean, I'm a great admirer.
Well, it takes two to speak.
It does. It does for me. I'm sorry. I don't do that. Again,
What?
I'm not an ass kisser. I'm not.
Well, first of all, she ain't got no ass because she's well, you know, she never had an ass. What I'm saying is that why can't you speak first, people?
Why can I be first to
No, why
break the?
can't you say hello? Just acknowledge her humanity. Just say hello, Dinah Ross.
No, I don't, I'm not talking. I'm not gonna say her name. It's why. Here's the thing. First of all, if we're gonna adhere to the rules of Emily Post, we have never been formally
I'm
introduced.
not talking
I
about
don't.
Emily. I ain't
Listen.
talking about.
Well, I'm gonna say it. So if she goes there, I mean, I don't want to give anybody the right to go there. According to the rules of Emily Post, if we have not been formally introduced, I can't be that fucking familiar with you. It's rude.
It's just hello.
Uh-uh. It's like, here's the thing. I didn't say it. I've tried that shit a bunch of times, and it's all every time it's landed as egg on my fucking face, and I ain't doing
That's
it
what
again.
that's what I'm
That's
talking
right.
about. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
It's always ended in egg on my face. It's like, wait, excuse me. I mean, I almost got arrested in New York for that. I mean, there's some African. I mean, I thought he couldn't speak English. And then I called his ass at the front desk speaking English better than most people I know. I was like, oh, hell no, you don't get to do that. Not in my country. I don't give a shit where you came from or what you think or how you think you're superior to me in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to hear that shit. But I spoke to you several times in kindness and brotherhood, and you pissed on me every single time because you could speak English the whole time and you ignored my ass. You felt like you could do that. You are in my fucking country. I was born here. You know, it's like yeah, I was born here, not you. I'm not
All
trying
right,
to get ahead.
Marvin Gaye.
Did not have the pleasure of of his presence in my life.
Really?
Would have loved to have known him. Would have loved to have known him. I mean, you know, seen him from afar. Paid money to go see him every time he was available. But
Barry White.
uh, paid money to go see him. Did Bought everything he ever did. as I did with Marvin Gaye, bought everything they ever did and spent money on them, and to see them always. I saw the original Barry White review.
Prince.
Uh, was around him. We were working at the same studio and all that. But to me, I think that's one of the regrets that you have. Is because Prince always had something to say. I liken it to an article that we both did in Rolling Stone, and one of the questions was, "What advice would you give to a new budding artist?" Uh, and I wrote this long, eloquent fucking thing, several paragraphs, doing my thing. And Prince had two words that paraphrase all the shit I just said.
Mm.
And then Prince's thing was two words: be different.
Same thing.
He said, he paraphrased everything I had to say. And anybody that can do that with all that shit I had to say is worth a conversation. I'm sorry. It's like, I'm going to apologize to Cat Williams. He's like one of the few people I'm ever going to apologize to.
Okay, okay. First of all, he's one of the few people that you will ever apologize to. So did you say something that you need to apologize for?
No, I just didn't give him his due.
In your mind, or did you talk
in my
about
mind?
it
In my mind, and he's not. He doesn't deserve to be discounted or non-counted, uncounted, or on anything. I mean, that kind of comprehensive research is a thing of the past. John and I were talking about that earlier, about all the information and data that we assimilate at this particular point is only gained ad nauseum anyway. It's something that's just been talked to death about, and somebody's weighing in their opinion on it. It's like wading through misinformation and false narratives at this particular point it's kind of like wading through
excuse me, philosopher
fathomless.
people. I got my hand up because I know you're the loquacious one. When you say, which I think is a great internal check and balance, that you check on yourself, because obviously you didn't tell nobody
You have
what you
to
were thinking.
but
for you to come to that admission, you must have judged him in your mind.
Hey, and no, I just don't. I could no longer. I reached a point where I could no longer agree with my assessment of him.
Oh, that's beautiful that you
You
came
know,
to that.
Yeah, it was
That's
my
beautiful.
assessment of him that was unfair.
Yeah.
And it's and now I understand how people did it to me because I did it to him. That's why I want to apologize to him. It's like there there's all kinds of ways to educate oneself, and reading is a excellent way to do it. I mean, and what he did every day with 8 hours in a library is, man, that's a
Wait, what do you mean? What
lot
do
of
you mean? What he
information.
did? Wait, you mean reading books in the library every day?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Let me tell you, 8 hours of reading every day at the library. Man, look, let me tell you something. You are going through some data. That's some serious damn data. I mean, you go and you have access to. They weren't censoring us so badly in that particular time. So they're so critical. Anything uh, was not abhorrent to anybody, or it wasn't threatening to anybody, or nobody feared it would inspire violence or anything like that.
It wasn't ominous at all. Yeah.
Not at all. Whereas for me, my mother, my older sister, and myself worked for the Rothschilds during the summers. And so we would go up to the Blue Ridge Mountains with Shelley and Ludd. And, it wasn't a whole lot to do. We only had about 3 channels, and only one of them worked at that particular time. But they had an extensive library up there, and I was lost in there every single day. Get up, get my work done,
Oh yeah.
chill out, eat lunch with a book, go back to the library, and then got to a point where I could eat lunch in the library. Hey, I
Speaking of
was.
lunch, what's your diet like at 74?
Um, you don't try to eat everything. I eat a lot of different things. My palate's kind of wide, so if exotic
Like that
foods and
gun
all
you
that.
talk about, like that gun,
Well,
but
kind of
on.
like the gun. Well, but kind of like the gun. My thing is like, say for instance, like uh, I never did. I don't know what a cocaine high is like. I have no idea. It must be fine, but
It's amazing. It just kill you though.
I'm just saying. I no, but I
It's
don't.
horrible, but it's
I mean,
amazing.
I don't know, but I did have another habit at the same time. My friends had that habit. My habit was beluga caviar. Costs about the same.
Caviar.
Yeah, beluga. I
It's a
was
lot
like,
of cholesterol.
I know, I know about all of that, but I'm trying to tell you what I like. When my friends were doing cocaine, I was doing beluga, and the cost per gram is about the same.
You still eat it now?
Every once in a while, I indulge myself with beluga and foie gras. I like it. I like foie gras with a nice red blend. Man, I'm all about it. It might be exotic. It might even be considered decadent, but it hits me the right way. I like it.
Let me ask you about Phyllis Hyman.
Absolutely adorable. Just too fragile.
Yeah.
She was strong, a survivor, but more by being saved than saving herself. She was fragile, and fragile in that when it's an odd reality to wake up. We all had to deal with it, and when you wake up one day and your your inseam is different, and you're trying to figure out why the fuck is my inseam different? These are my old jeans. It's because your ass got bigger.
Well, thanks a lot. Fuck you.
I'm just saying, it's because your fucking body's making that first shift that it makes around 28, 29. It's making that, it makes that damn shift, and you go, what the fuck? And here's the thing. Listen, I'm just saying. So I go to Japan, and I'm in Tokyo, and they got in the dressing room. They got my dressing room. They got a four-way mirror, which men like me, we don't. I ain't got no four-way mirror at home. I don't. I'm not trying to see me at all fucking angles and all that shit. I'm not that guy. I mean, so right. So I'm way too real for that shit. So I'm in Tokyo, and I'm looking. I turn around, looking at mirror, and go, "What the fuck is that?" So I called my manager, my MD, and I said, "Man, did y'all see this shit going on me?" And didn't say shit about it. They're like, "Man, we thought you liked it, that shit." I'm like,
Okay, Anita Baker.
we're in the studio recording this song, and it's 4 hours in, 4.5 hours in, and we got nothing on tape because she says that she hears 200 cycles in her headphones. So at the studio there, Sound Factory or whatever it was, I think it was Sound Factory, they disassembled the entire Q system trying to chase down this damn 200 cycles, right? And so I'm like, and nobody's saying anything to her about it. So she finally turns around me 5 hours in and looks at me and says, I'm 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 being a bitch, aren't I? And then some. And so I said, listen, take my headphones. I guarantee you that there's no 200 cycles in it. And she said, I still hear 200 cycles. And I said, only if you're a German Shepherd.
What?
Only if you're a German Shepherd can you hear 200 cycles in those headphones right there.
You
Your
call
hearing
Anita
is
Baker
not
a dog?
I'm saying that only Ren 1010 can hear 200 fucking cycles in headphones. It's just- and her ears are sensitive like that, and she was hearing something, but it wasn't 200 cycles.
Like me, my ears.
I'm just saying it wasn't 200 cycles. So it's just
I
like,
want to be a dog.
I mean, it's like but that's like saying that's like me having a dog whistle and blowing on it, and you saying you hear it. No, you don't.
I know what you're saying, people. I know what you're saying.
I mean, you don't do that. It's
Yeah.
so.
Who was the biggest rapper that you've spent time with that you don't ever want to be around again?
Let's see. It's I don't hang with rappers in general, and it's not because I don't hang with them. The contact with them is incidental. I mean, it's like it's like, okay, I'm at I think it's the American Music Awards or the Grammys, one of them, and
One of them.
I can't get to my damn car. And I'm kind of ticked off about that. I can't get to my car. And I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is the holdup. It's not rocket science. It's a the cars start to go around the building, and eventually your car comes around. So what's taking some? A couple hours later, we've been there all day long. It's a long day.
Why you there all day long? Why?
Well, because if you're going to do something, or if you're going to perform, or you're going to sing or something like that, you have to. There's rehearsal and stuff like that. So you've been there. You got all that's scheduled early. So and then you have to be there if there are any changes. And I said, well, what's the hold up? It's 2 hours later now. I mean, I'm there 2 hours later than I need to be there. And it's because Tupac has been outside fighting. Now I don't know him. I don't know.
He's a pugilist.
I don't know Tupac. So but that doesn't make any difference. I didn't say anything to him. It's just that I did block his way and look at him like I was his daddy. Because I'm a damn OG. I was an OG then. And I'm sorry. And I was like, and my look said, my body language said, for real, nigga, for real, seriously, you can find something else to do. And to his credit, he would not give me direct eye contact. He looked at my shoes. He looked at my feet. And I didn't say anything. I was
You was about that life.
I would not let it pass. And I was like,
Can I ask you which person that you say you will never work with again?
I don't burn bridges unless you make me.
Huh?
I don't burn bridges unless you put the torch in my hand and threaten somebody.
Your best stage performance ever for you?
Best stage performance ever. I'm not sure it was something that was recorded, and it should have been. It wasn't recorded. It made me think that there comes a certain point when you should record everything, because you'll never know when that magic and quintessential moment is going to come.
Really?
Yeah, you don't know when that is, but I've actually been on stage, and I'm not one of those Julio Iglesias type, where I'm gonna be shedding tears and shit and all that. But I have been in that place where a performance becomes ethereal.
Yep.
and you are doing, and you know that you're doing God's work using all of His tools, not just yours, and all the extra boost and extra stuff that He's given you, that you're using that as well. It's in those moments that you know that there's only one thing I'm not sure in those moments that I cannot do, and that is to fly. And I'm not absolutely certain about that. I'm not absolutely certain that I cannot fly in those moments. It's when what you are transcends everything that you thought you know, every reality you thought you knew. It's transcended by your connection to the higher spiritual plane, we want to call it. You know, you know it's there, but when you're actually using the gifts, that I never thought for one second that any of this that I do in my life, any of the music, any of the singing, had anything at all to do with me individually,
Right. Right.
because it doesn't. You know, it's like all the other energy on this planet. It's just borrowed, and someday you have to give all of it back. If especially if you're not doing the right thing with it.
What do you think about death? What do you think happens?
I think death is just another door. I think it's when you shed. I think it's a lifting of a veil. Quite frankly, I think it's a
Heaven,
lifting of-
hell. Do you believe in that?
I do. I believe that there are probably places that you don't want to go that well, that don't have a a concept or word or don't have death as we know it. You might not want to end up there. I mean, it's like, would you want to go someplace where you would be tormented for the rest of your life? I would want. That's a planet I would want to avoid. I don't care
And
what
that's a
gravity.
dickless planet for me.
See, exactly. That's what
I
I
don't want to
mean.
go with no dicks. We need some dicks on my planet.
See what I'm
Right?
saying? So yeah, there's that. Hey, being being of service to a friend is something that's important to me.
Mhm.
Being of service in general is something that's important to me. Uh, a lot of people want to categorize me as a hard ass in a lot of ways and all that. I'm a fairly sensitive person. Um, I'm not a. And when it comes to the concepts of heaven and hell, I don't think that you can have any one thing without having a polar opposite. I don't think that anything is a power in this universe that doesn't have a polar opposite. You know, I think there's a yin and yang to everything,
Right.
and it's like again, I read something when I was 14 that said uh, people like to separate their joy from their sorrow without realizing that your joy is your sorrow unmasked. When your sorrow takes its mask off, it's the same thing that you wept for with joy. It's the same thing, and was not oftentimes your own well filled with your own tears.
Mm. Yeah.
And so
I hear that.
have you not wept for that which has been your delight?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's all that. So the yin and the yang and the good and the bad. There's a good place to go. Heaven is, I mean, when you read Revelations, some of it's going to be here and there, and until this army of 200 million come along and try to annihilate as many as it possibly can. So, the word, and is the word true, and will the word hold true? That depends on your faith, doesn't it?
Yeah. Word. Word.
Yeah,
Word.
it depends on you. It does as long as you believe it does. If you don't believe in it, you're not going there. If you can't see it and you don't feel like you deserve it, you can't manifest yourself there. Look, it's no point in asking the secrets of the answers to the secrets of the universe and all that. And how is it that a man can bend a spoon with only using his mind? You know, it's like that's a question that leads to more unanswered questions. Rather ask yourself, why is it that you have not yet figured out that there is no damn spoon?
Yeah.
So the deal being this: if you go in your cutlery drawer, I don't give a damn if you got the Dalai Lama and Buddha sitting there in the kitchen with you. Y'all ain't gonna bend the spoon, none of y'all, individually or collectively. Ain't gonna bend the spoon that you pull out of that cutlery drawer. But the spoon that I manifest, that's my spoon.
Right.
That one I can bend like Beckham.
Right. What was the most money you made at one gig? The most money at one time?
Gee, I don't know. I don't, because I'm not one of those. I'm not the one that collects that stuff. I mean, I don't.
Oh, you know. If you had a concert, an appearance someplace, a commercial.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, no,
From an
but
artist's point of view, I don't want the amount.
yeah, I mean, there are some.
What project have you worked on that was extremely lucrative? You know what I mean? That you said, well, damn, this was.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are some projects that I worked on that were extremely lucrative. I mean, yeah, there are some that some
got a
were
pussy, I got a
more lucrative than others. And then there's a damn. I didn't think it was going to be that. There's those surprises that you get. It's like
Right.
somebody says, why did they re-record your song? I said, I don't know, but they can re-record any other song. After I got that doggone first quarter check, I was like, okay.
I know that's right.
I was like, when Stephanie and Teddy did that thing,
Feel the fire.
I'm just saying. I was like, this is what they pay. I said, this is for the quarter.
Feel the fire. What?
I was like, oh snap!
That's because you were the writer, not just a singer on the song.
Correct.
When you write this song, you get a different check.
And then I was like, Warner Chappell was like, you're gonna resign with us, aren't you? We're gonna give you this right here, and that's really? Whoa. And then you got, record execs say, go back in. Here's another $500,000. Go back in. Like, you don't like it. I don't like what you did. Let's just make certain we got everything we need. Okay.
Well, how'd you feel about Glenn Jones doing "Reaching for the Sky"?
I think Glenn is a talented vocalist. He always has been.
Yes, Lord.
It's like some people can sing, and he's one of them.
Yeah. Now, if I were to do one of your songs over, which one can I do?
One that I played you that made you listen to the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Something about Next to Me or something like that, right?
No, you could. Did you ever know? And
you played me about the hit songs.
Okay, all right. Here's for you. You don't have to beg.
Huh?
Find it.
I don't have to what?
You don't have to beg. That's for you. That's the one you need to redo. It's mine. I wrote that. You don't have to beg.
That's a song you wrote because you don't have to beg.
You don't have to beg. And it's about I hate women having to do it.
I can redo it.
I hate women having to beg.
Are you telling me that I could redo that song?
Correct. You could.
And I used to beg for dick a lot.
You don't have to beg.
I used to beg for crack. I used to beg for love. I used to beg. Yeah, but I didn't have to beg. No. What's the lyrics? Can I hear the song a little bit?
He breaks your heart into a million pieces.
Million pieces.
It doesn't seem to bother him at all.
Doesn't seem to bother him at all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Should you just swallow your pride, baby?
Should you just swallow his sperm?
Swallow your pride.
Swallow
Run
his
to
sperm.
him
I say
and
pride.
apologize for things you haven't said or done. Will never make you the one he will cling to.
Don't play with me, people. Now don't
So
play with me
get
because I'm
off
gonna
of
do
your
this song now.
knees. You don't have to beg.
People, don't play with me now.
You pull it up. Pull it up.
Okay, I was fucking with you, playing with it, put the sparring party in there, but I'm gonna do it.
I'm just saying.
Matter of fact, you need to be in the studio coaching me when I do it.
See, you ain't gonna make me accidentally fuck you. I'm telling you that.
But you fucking me right now. We having sex right now.
Look. I'm not carrying that guilt around with my ass. I'm not. You ain't
First
make
of
me
all,
do it.
I'm too old for you. You know I'm way too old.
Shit, bullshit.
Warning. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the presenter in their current state of mind, which they have the right to change at any given moment. The iRant Network and the members of the Ranters Union are not responsible for any claims made. All opinions and train of thoughts are welcomed here and protected by the First Amendment and the Ranters Union.
I forget this is an interview. I forget I'm interviewing. I think I'm just talking to my friend. Wait a minute. Wait.
Hey, this is a
Okay.
I found the song, Gina, and I sent it to you.
The Pussy Whisperer.
I just saying. No, she found the you don't have to beg.
Yes,
I know what she found. I'm a little warm right now.
Hey, shit.
And these are paintings by Etta Girl's family.
Oh,
She
beautiful.
made
those up. You who does those?
The lady where I'm doing the podcast from her house right now in Atlanta. Oh, they're in Atlanta. That's right. Look at this one. Etta Girl. Tell them who it's from. Etta Girl. This one.
Those are beautiful.
She's right down here. Is another.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's good stuff.
Yes. So just contact. It's easy to contact. Yo, people, it has been 2 hours already. I know you have.
No,
stuff
it
to
hasn't.
do. Yeah.
No, it hasn't.
Yes. But you know how we talk on the phone for like 3 hours, so you know.
Hey,
this is easy for us. John, what do we have to do? Is it going on too long? What's the deal with the time?
Well, Gina, John did have to step away. He has another job, but he's left us.
I'm still here. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to have to step away, but we have another iRant producer here, so you can take as long as you need. It's cool. I just want it to happen naturally, you know.
Well. Okay. I'm hungry.
Go eat. We both need with sustenance at this particular point. We've talked a lot of shit.
Wait, can I ask you a question though?
Go ahead.
Can I do a part 2 with you?
When?
In a month?
Give me a shot. Let's see if we can make it happen.
Okay. 30 days?
Yeah, give me a shot. Let's see if we can make it happen.
Now I'm in Atlanta. I don't know if you're coming outside tonight. Are you coming outside?
I'm getting ready to take my ass to the gym in a minute. I don't know what I'm gonna do after that.
Okay, because the Super Bowl is today, and then my show is tonight on Roosevelt Highway.
Okay.
In Atlanta, me and a live band. It's 4 old dudes, right, who I rehearsed with yesterday in Decatur. So we'll be there this evening at 10 o'clock. And I am so appreciative to Mr. Peebo Bryson. Anissa,
Yes.
are you here? Jai, you still here?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay.
I have
So,
I have really
yeah.
enjoyed this. It's been interesting.
Well, you're interesting.
Well,
You're interesting.
I like to think I'm a
He might have cut out when he stepped outside.
Yeah, something happened. Anyway, Anissa, how
okay.
are you?
No,
You have any announcements, Anissa?
Yes,
he's
I
back.
do.
He's back, Muffin.
Okay, he's back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What are you doing? You gonna eat?
for me,
Yeah.
I'm walking out here. I'm gonna burn one. I haven't smoked a cigarette long enough to quit.
What kind of cigarette you smoke? You smoke Newports?
Oh hell no! All natural.
Natural cigarettes?
Oh yeah, all natural. I
You
can't.
mean
I
from the
can't.
Indians?
American Spirit. I smoked Nat Sherman all naturals for until they messed up and didn't pay the vig and got blown up.
Mm.
Before they got blown up.
Oh yeah,
What are you talking about?
you can't if you owe certain people you have to at least pay the vig, don't you?
Wait.
You don't pay the interest. The people get mad, especially when they know especially when they know you just got bought out by Philip Morris for about $6 billion. They want their
Well,
money.
let me ask you some people about this conspiracy theorist thing.
Okay.
Does the mafia own the music industry? You think?
No, Jews on it. It's no the industry itself, the entertainment industry is
Wow.
Jewish. You can't say things like you can't be black and say things like I'm gonna buy NBC.
Mm.
You can't
Yeah.
say stuff like that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't it's an exclusive kind of club, to say the least. It's exclusive. I met them years ago. Had dinner with them. I was about 22. Yeah. Saw him again when just before Nick Ashford died.
Valerie's
Oh.
husband.
Yep, about the same time. I was on my way to dinner with them when I was walking through Valerie Nick's house, and he just come from the oncologist. And I didn't want to bother him.
On 72nd Street?
Yeah, exactly.
I was there. I've been there.
And I didn't want to bother him because just coming from the oncologist, he might be feeling some kind of way. It's like, but I wish I had. It would have been the last time I saw him. But went to dinner with the real Tony Soprano, the actual head of waste management in Manhattan. And he kept calling me T-Bone. Not Peebo, T-Bone. And
It was dissing you.
No, I let him. I answered to it.
He was kind of like sunning you.
No, he said no better.
He was ignorant. Okay.
Oh yeah.
What does people mean?
Originally it's peephole, and my father gave it to me. He got it in his travels when he was in the army somewhere. But I worked for a guy who had a slight speech impediment. You could be around him for years and not know he had it. But he could not say peephole. He said peebo every single time, and he spelled it the way he said it. It was his band. So I kept it. I was peebo for 12 years with him, so kept it.
So where are you going to be singing soon, Mr. Bryson?
See, I just did the casino and Canada.
Do you know where you're going soon?
I have to go to Japan soon. I have work to do here soon. I don't actually know. I just kind of look at my Delta app and it tells me when I need to check in.
Roberta Flack, you are my love. You are my heaven. What it was like working with Roberta Flack?
It actually it was a dream come true. You haven't lived until you're somewhere writing songs with Roberta Flack, and it's on this someplace on the water, and the sun is setting, and it's looks like it's got a stairway of light on the water, and she sits behind that big ass Busendorfer in that sunset, and the only natural light in that room, looking out at that water, and it plays "First Time Ever I Saw Your Face" for me, and I'm the only audience.
Wow.
Tell you something. Talk about a song that reached down and ratcheted up and called it up my soul. That song did it for me.
What was she talking about? Who was she talking about?
Roberta Flack.
Yeah, that song.
Who was she talking about?
The
I don't
first
know.
time ever I saw your face.
It's a it- it's a it, it's a magical moment in a human being's life when you come in close proximity of what your soul knows is its soulmate. Not that you're gonna get it. See, love don't work like that. You don't get it just because it's you find it. You find your soulmate. That doesn't mean you get it. It doesn't mean that. It means then you got to do everything you can to procure it at that point. And if you don't do everything, and you can do everything and still not get it because it's
Right.
not meant for you. But if it's meant for you and it's going to change you in all the right ways in the sequence of life that's yet to be lived, you will have it. It will work for you. You'll figure out a way to do it. I have no idea why my wife loves me the way she does. Love my dirty drawers.
People has dirty drawers. Oh God.
Hell no, I go commando.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I have
Hey,
I have never in my life put on a pair of comfortable drawers.
you never put on what?
A pair of drawers that I would call comfortable.
I haven't owned a pair, so I'm with you with
I
that.
well, well, then you're like me. I mean, everybody knows I'm like, get the fuck out so I can put my clothes on. I'm getting get dressed and go do this show. Everybody knows I go commando. Get the fuck out.
Wait, so you mean hold up. You mean to tell me that if I go back and look at some concerts right now,
Yeah, you can
you
look at that photograph right there. I ain't got no drawers on.
Let me pull up my
hey,
glasses.
wait a minute. Wait a motherfucking minute.
I don't wear. Listen, I've tried all of them. I've spent a ton of dough for the Versace's and this one, that designer, that none of that shit works for me. It don't work. I mean I have them, and I have them in my travel bags and all that kind of stuff. I just don't ever wear them.
So it would be disrespectful to ask uh is has a member ever been on your body, ever been titillated by external stimuli, and it shows on your pants on stage? Is there a video that I might see that I could see it? Your reaction to fans,
Let me tell you a short story.
please.
When I was 13, uh, I was just turning 13. My grandmother saw me in the backyard of the house we lived in, 205 Asbury Avenue. She was, she saw me do something that, and she said, "Come here, boy." I said, "Yes, ma'am. I see you chasing that Paulette down there through the thick part. She got a big ass, but she nasty." It gives you an insight to my Indian grandmother. So
Uh-huh.
she says, "You sit right there." She calls the drugstore and has the boy on the bike bring her a pack of rubbers. And he comes in, he said, "Miss Bryson, you need these?" And she said, "You wanna ride that bike away from here, or do you want me to beat your ass here and break that bike over your head?" And he said, "No, ma'am." She said, "Get the hell out of here then." He went. She pulls one out, shows me how to use them, and she says these words to me. She said, "Now, just because that thing works, that's not what makes you a man." She said, "Now, a man comes when he decides he's going to come. He controls that because he controls his own fate, his own destiny, and his own mind and his own body. A boy, on the other hand, comes because he has to. Which one are you?" And I beat on my chest. I'm a man. She said, "Okay then. So you can come when you want to." She walked away and said, "You better practice." So you can't imagine the look on my wife's face when she finally comes to visit me. We haven't had sex yet. We're just talking over the phone. I told her how I felt, what I wanted, where I felt this was going, da da da. So she says, "I can't commit to this until I find out about this part right here." So she gets here and she says, "I I'm not on a pill." I said, "Well, that's all right." And she said, "Well, you have something?" I said, "No." And she said, "Well, we can't get busy." I said, "Well, yes, we can actually. I have control." And she says, uh, "What the fuck does that mean?" And I go, uh, "It means I come when I want to, not because I have to." It's always been that way. I said I had a high school girlfriend and she never got pregnant, and I don't get named in fraternity suits and all that kind of stuff. I've never heard of it. You never heard of it. That's one of the things you've never heard. But in all that time, it was because of something my grandmother said to me when I was 13. And my wife was not hearing it. She said, she looked at me as she's a Brit. She looks at me and she said, "Are you fucking taking the piss?" I said, "No, I'm not." "I'm telling you, that's how I am." I said, "I can show you." Oh,
Okay, but wait a minute, Mr. P.
yeah.
What I am learning from the story is the what about safety and protection? You just said pregnancy.
Here's the thing.
What?
This was about pregnancy, and I was like, "No, I come when I want to come, where I want to come. There's no."
What? What?
These are words that have, that's an expression that's never been uttered from me for that reason. So uh, she's like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "I can show you." I said, I'm going to let it start and then I'm going to stop it."
What?
Yeah. I mean, I, I just assumed everybody, that most dudes could do it if they wanted to.
No, you can listen. Good pussy will make a nigga come quick. Come on now. Are you?
No,
Are you? No, you don't have that kind of
sorry,
control now.
sorry. I got a
Well,
strong
now
mind.
you might. Now at 74, maybe, but
No, always did. I'm not that guy.
at
Never have been.
25, 30, 40
Not
years old.
that guy. Not that guy. Always had control. Always. Consequences were too high. I always maintained control. That's me. I'm a crazy person.
What does that mean, Mr. Bryson?
It means and I'm the. It's my nut. I'm in control of it. This is what it means in a microcosm. That's what it means. It's like it's not. Where does the orgasm actually take place? It takes place between your ears.
Between my legs?
No, it takes place between your ears.
Well, see, people say that. People say that. And you
Mm.
have to connect your mind to it. But unlike a vagina that takes things in, uh, uh, a, 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 a penis, I hate to say penis because black men have dicks, right?
Right.
When it goes in something, um, it is immersed with these things to make it feel wonderful. So sometimes, just like a put his dick in the mouth, it feels not your, I'm saying mine. Sometimes it feels so good that he can't help but not premature. I'm not talking about premature, but you may think you're not going to come, but the feeling might supersede the thought. That's
Look,
never happened, Mr.
here's the
Bryson.
thing. No, if it gets that good, I'll pull it out.
Wait a minute. Is that the
Sorry.
answer?
No, if I'm not listen. I'm not saying that I've not have. I'm not sitting here telling you I've never had my fucking toes curled, and I'm not sitting here telling you that I've never actually played out that scenario of the ever evasive snapper.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I never had one.
Oh, that snapback pussy.
No, no, some I've come across. I finally came across a woman who actually had one.
Well, she had what? Wait, hold. She
She
had what?
had what we call a snapper.
And what's a snapper?
It's like it's like she got two pairs of hands in that mug.
What?
She can make it do what she wants to make it do. I'm just telling you. There are female versions of me. This me that you're questioning right now. There are female versions of it. I'm
They,
sorry.
they have a pussy inside a pussy.
They got. She was telling me. She gave me a rundown of what she was gonna make that damn thing do in a sequence.
And
Did it all. It did everything she said in sequence.
what kind of pussy she had? I mean, I don't mean that my grammar is horrible right now.
Let's call it a snapper. That's what it was. It was a snapper. It does exist.
Oh,
Let me tell you something. She might be a couple of years older than me. If she is still alive on this planet,
wait. She's wait
listen.
a minute.
If she's still alive on this planet, her boyfriend or husband ain't older than 24, and he
Wait,
ain't going
wait,
nowhere.
wait.
And he ain't going nowhere. And he ain't going nowhere.
Wait a second. She's about 80.
She's about 75 at least.
Is she black or white?
Black.
And what state does she live in?
Right here, last I heard.
She's in Atlanta with snapback pussy like that.
Look, you gotta listen. You need. I don't know about you, but I leave that shit alone.
Wait, first of all, no Queen Latifah. I don't want to know, but I do want to know, but not for me personally. I want to expose her.
Look,
I
let me
want
just
to know
say
what
this.
she got that I don't have.
Listen. I'm gonna just tell you what she had at the time she married a young guy named Angus, and he was a strapping buck and was muscle bound, was a bodybuilder type, and all that. I walked up to Angus after that and said, "Good pussy make you brave."
What? Yeah. Have you ever been to an orgy, people?
No, I don't. I don't take chances on some guy accidentally touching me in a place that I don't want. That ain't gonna happen. Have I ever been in a threesome? Yeah.
Oh, of course. That's regular for you niggas.
yeah, but, that's that.
With
But
two guys or two girls?
no, I, I don't see for me, I don't see a scenario where two men are necessary. I'm sorry. I mean, unless it's a foursome.
Unless it's a what?
Unless it's a foursome, you got, yeah, that's, you can no, that don't you don't even put me. I just don't put that out there in any way that's possible in any way, shape, or form.
No,
That's
no, no. But no, but what I'm saying is, I've been in situations where it's not. It's just the women doing both things to both guys. That's all. The men are not touching at all.
and no, not even then. Not even then. Nah, not even then. I've never done that. It's not that you can't. It's just nah. Doesn't appeal to me. I'm not interested in his pleasure in any way, shape, or form. Just not interested.
So,
Not even in a visual aspect. Just not.
okay, we can ready to go eat, but I have one more question.
Go on then.
What's next? What do you want to do career wise next? What's next?
Here's the thing. I've been on this spiritual journey for a long, long time. I've taken the long route. I haven't taken, like uh, leapfrog steps like bufo or mushrooms or anything like that. I haven't indulged in those. Uh, Said no to all those things most of my life and pursued the knowledge in pursuit of the wisdom. When you a brain like mine, you gotta look at it like I'm 7 years old. I'm sitting at the dinner table, and I look around at that table at all the adults and all my siblings, and I realize that I'm the smartest person in the room, and that nobody in this house is ever going to be as smart as I am right now in this moment.
I don't expect this.
But I'm smart enough to realize also one other thing. The caveat to that is I'm smart enough to realize that I'm not the wisest person in the room. I'm just the smartest.
Yeah,
And knowledge that does not transform into and transcend into wisdom is worthless.
yeah.
So you're smart. It doesn't mean shit. You have to put that in perspective. Are you the wisest person in the room? When if I'd been sitting there and I was the wisest person in the room, I would have told everybody in the room to kiss my ass.
Okay.
But but I wasn't. I was the smartest person in the room, and that doesn't get you to the top. That's not what does it.
Right.
If I was sitting at that table and I was the most humble person in the room, that's a whole different kettle of worms. If I was the most spiritual and the closest to God and God like at that table, that puts me at the top. That's what puts you at the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not being the smartest person in the room. Smart doesn't do it. Intellect alone, if it won't help me, it won't grow me, it won't save me. It won't do anything because it just because it cannot.
Right.
If I have not yet grown into the person that can love the random person sitting next to me on a bus, train, or just sharing the same space. If I can't love the random person that I meet that's incidental to me, if
Right.
I haven't evolved to that point yet, then I'm not wise,
Right.
and
Right. Right.
and also not smart enough
Right.
to realize that I'm lacking in some way, shape, or form, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the whole lacking part at all. But it is what it is. So I've been on this spiritual journey, and here's where I'm at. Here's where I find myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can control my behavior. I have a working moral compass that is comprehensive and powerful. I can control my behavior. I can do something or decide not to do something based on my own concept of right and wrong, or the ethics of morality that represent my existential crises that
Mm-hmm.
I have to deal with every day. So
Right.
I can do that, but here's the one thing I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've got to control. I want control over what I think, because what I think is fucking out there. That doesn't have the same limitations that anything else that my behavior has.
Right. 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 Right.
So if I can get to a place, and I'm getting better and better,
Mm-hmm.
where I control what I think as much as I can control when I come, I'll be I'll be happening. I will be I will be something special then. I won't be special until I can
Yo,
control
I
that.
can't believe he's saying this because what I identify with that as we get ready to go home, if you hang up the phone first, right, is that I'm trying to learn how to squirt. And squirting requires the mind and the
You got to make
control
that
of.
connection. You got to make that connection. You
Right,
got.
right, right. So as I'm trying to squirt, you're trying to gain more knowledge of. I got you. You know, we're on this journey together. So
I'm just saying. So here's the thing. You you you, you gotta loose the hounds between your ears. That's the feral beast. That is the feral beast. You gotta understand something. You ain't gonna squirt until you can do that. You
I
gotta.
know, but you know
And
what? You know
here's the
what?
thing. And
It's gonna
there's an
happen.
element. There's an element that you got to have in there, which is the reason why you keep gravitating back towards your ex.
What? My what?
The reason why you keep gravitating towards your ex. You want to know what?
Oh shit!
You want to know what it is that keeps you going back?
What, Peebo?
You ain't gonna squirt until you add that love element into that thing. When they're
You
you
might be
want to,
right.
I know damn well I'm right. I mean, there's a difference between a good calm and me hitting that fucking wall over there. It's not that I can't hit that wall. It's just that I haven't loosed those feral beasts
Oh.
because because the fear is that shit is like astral trajectory. Let's look at it like that. The thing that's fearful about leaving your body is whether or not you're gonna get back in.
Yeah, yeah. I think the whole letting go thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now you understand. Now you understand.
I'm
You got
sure. I'm sure that's part of it. The whole letting go and
well, yeah, but see, you now you got coming because you love somebody like that is different from any other calm there is.
right, exactly. Yeah.
So you want to squirt, you're gonna have to accept all of that shit. Not
Yep.
look, you try to that shit ain't no smorgasbord. You can just it ain't no damn charcuterie board where you can just charcuterie board where you just it can nibble on whatever you want to at any given time. That shit don't work like that. You have to be dedicated and let all of that shit go. Accept all of who you are and all of who they are, and love them all the more for it. If you ain't
Right,
coming because of that, then you ain't gonna squirt.
right. People, Bryson, I have to talk to you offline because I have to hang up this phone and leave these people's house where I am and go back to my hotel room.
These people are not gonna never let you come back to their house after hearing
Oh
this.
yes, some of these people that no, they love me. But I'm gonna get in some water and use the bathroom, and I want to I want to live my life, nigga. You yo, fabulous palace. I love you, people. I'm gonna talk to you, but can we do this in 30 days? I think we're gonna do it again because I
I'll
want
be
part
happy
two.
to. I'll be
Um,
happy to.
thank you, and I'm
Thank you,
sure
Mr.
that
Bryson. Thank
Listen,
you.
and let me tell you something. Y'all got a lot more ears full than you anticipated when you got up this morning.
oh my God, trust me.
Yeah, this is a treat for real. And I just
It's
want to applaud you for your obedience and your commitment to yourself and to God. You told us when you first started telling us about your journey, and this friend gave you all this money and a car and everything because you were obedient and you kept your word between you and
Exactly.
your God. God has continued to bless you, and I just appreciate you. I learned so much from you today. I
You know
thank
what?
you. I'm so
What you just
grateful.
said now is that, I knew exactly when it was going to happen. I knew it was happening when it was happening, and I didn't. Let's end with this right here because you said that. I was living with a girl at the time, and I had this epiphany, and it woke me up out of a hard sleep, and I was weeping, and she looked at me. She said, "Are you all right?" And she thought I was having some kind of episode. It's that I knew it was happening. I knew it was about to happen. I knew it was about to break, and I was overwhelmed with gratitude. And I tried to explain that to her. She called 911 and tried to get the boys in the with the white coats to come by. She thought I was really losing it.
Mm.
I was not. And so I was at the office not less than 2 weeks, about 10 days later. I was at the office and they had me hemmed up. I was trying to renegotiate my contract at Bang Records, and I was in there with Joel Katz and a couple other people and my bosses. And so the lie I was telling them, I was using as leverage, was that Capitol Records was after me and they were pressing me really hard. And so they had me in the office and they said, "Well, who exactly at Capitol Records is pressing you?" I didn't know anybody, any executive at Capitol Records. I had never heard a name of an executive there. And so I said, "Well, I'm not sure that's good for you to know." And so they said, "Well, who exactly is it? You got to give us something." When the receptionist walked in the office and said, "I'm sorry to disturb you, but people, you have a call from Capitol Records, a Larkin Arnold." And I looked at them, and let me tell you something, the Oscar would have went to me. I turned around and looked at that room and I said, "I'm so sorry. I have got to take this." I had no fucking idea. That's the first time I heard this guy's fucking name. I didn't know him, never heard of him. And
Hero
I was
Bryson,
there.
we have to go. I have to eat. I have to use the
Yes,
No,
bathroom.
no,
God,
I know.
God,
Hold on.
Yeah, you wait, Gina.
Wait.
Shit.
Just a second. This is important. And
Okay.
I'll be damned if this guy was actually trying to sign me and was pressing me hard right then and there. I was like, look, I was just trying to get this guy off the phone so I can go back in and get my contract and my bump. you know, I mean, the renegotiation of my contract. I got him exactly where I need him. And he was like, I like your I like your record. I said, "We'd like to have you." And I said, "Are you serious right now?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Listen, I'm about to sign in a minute. I'm about to sign a new contract." He said, "Have you actually signed anything?" I said, "No." He said, "Can you give me a few days to try to convince you to come to us?" I said, "Shit, yeah, I can." So, he said, "Do you have representation?" My boss had made me go meet this guy, David Franklin. I didn't want. She made somebody drive me down there. I blew this guy off several times. I said, "Well, actually, I just got this guy, David Franklin." He said, "Oh, I know David. I'll give David a call." I,
Mm.
I couldn't stop it. I couldn't fuck it up. I couldn't stop it. I couldn't. It was a runaway train. I then started going back to this whole self discovery journey. Things about myself I did not like, things that were not cool, and all that kind of stuff. And going back and fix things that I should have fixed a long time ago. Like my family was dysfunctional. I needed to fix that. And so that the generations that are still here now, dysfunction is only a rumor in our family. They didn't know anything about it. I mean, they were raised a certain way with love and respect and commitment to God. We all are. I mean, it's like, it's divine. Once you buy into it, and you make that covenant with God and you keep it, He will see you through. I don't care what nobody tells you. I don't care what you heard. Don't believe it. He will do it. It does work.
Pastor People Bryson on Church Unusual.
Woo!
Hallelujah.
Thank you, God.
I'm just telling you. So you can't stop it.
Right.
There's nothing you can do. You can't even screw it up.
Well, we have to stop this podcast so I can urinate and
Yeah, well, because
defecate
we're screwing you up right now.
and use the bathroom and leave this lady's house. She's locked in her room until I come out. So
All right, then, my lovelies. I
I
enjoyed it.
love you.
This
We
was
got to
great.
next month. You
Thank
promise
you,
us.
Mr. Bryson.
You guys later.
Thank you, baby. I'm gonna call you later anyway. You know that.
I know it.
Yes. And this is Ray Me.
Yes.
Thank you, sweetheart, for being
You're welcome,
so
Gina.
available to everybody in chat. How many people are here right now?
I think I saw 34.
Okay. I want to thank everybody that's here, the families represented here. We thank God for the amazing favor God has given this podcast. We thank God for the people who are coming here. I'm actually asking my friends to come to the podcast, and so I'm going to start asking. Josh said, Gina, ask your friends. And I said, I ain't asking these mother. I said, you know what? I know them personally, but they actually really are celebrities. But they're just regular people to me. So they're ordinary people. So I'm bringing people here. Next week we'll have topics, maybe. I don't know. Or we cover something,
Well,
maybe.
you
but
should have some of us on simultaneously so that we can go back and forth and talk about the real deal.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to gather some of your friends to come, we can do it.
Oh, see, now you're not gonna enlist me to do that shit. I'll be there.
Okay, well, see. Well, this was an exclusive interview of you today. This was a little different.
Well, exactly, but if I don't mind. I'm one of those people that I always wanted to debate with William F. Buckley by myself.
Oh, honey, let's go. Well, we can do it. I can get a panel. We can do a panel.
Well, his ass is dead now, so but.
No, I'm talking about we can get a panel now. We can get a panel just to have.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's have a panel.
His ass is dead.
Because you know these some of these boys and they need rite of passage. They need an OG.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm sorry, they need an OG. Because if they had an OG, then a lot of them would not be victims at this point.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here. That's why my auntie's here. That's why.
Exactly. We got to do that.
Yes.
That's helpful.
I'm hearing a commitment as a consultant for the church. That's what I'm hearing. As a collaboration, I'm hearing something like that. I don't know.
Just saying. Look, all I'm saying is there's a symposium to be had out there. There's a platform.
Yes.
For it. You know, it's not like it ain't got an audience. You know, but you got to put that stuff in there. You don't have to do it. But it's hard to when you're 14, you're 13, 14, 15 years old. It's hard to turn down a Ferrari. Sorry.
Yeah.
And you know the purpose. I started this podcast because on Instagram, I was told, listen, you can't make money doing it, monetizing, and so the goal of this podcast is really to get sponsorship, to get a house for my mother. That's all I want to do, really. And now I'm saying that, you know, it others, you know, I'm just open.
All I'm saying is like this. To me, choose two paths and stay on them.
Yes.
How far you're going to go and how straight you have to be.
Oh, I'm straight, all right.
Oh, I understand that.
Okay, look, people, Bryson, I have to hang up the phone and eat.
Go on then. Well, shit. You know, I haven't eaten either.
Right, and I haven't either.
I'm just saying.
I'm at somebody else's house. Understand? They have to live their life. They have to move around. They're locked in their room. I'm in their living room. They can't come out.
And you better not be sitting on that good couch.
Oh, you know what?
Right.
You know what? On that note, I actually am sitting on the sheet. You're actually right.
Just saying.
Okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm
All
leaving.
right.
Keyboard Bryson, please hang up the phone first.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you, Mr.
You hang up.
Bryson.
No,
This
you
was
hang
Thank you,
up.
very
No,
ladies.
you hang
sweet.
up.
It was a pleasure meeting everyone.
Very nice meeting you, sir. Thank you.
No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
All right. If I can be of service, let me know.
I will call you back.
All right, Lois.
You know that.
Yep.
Hang up the phone, weirdo.
This is so beautiful.
Hang up the phone.
How do I get out of this thing?
Oh God. I don't want to leave, but I gotta go right now.
And Ja has left us in such good hands.
Is
with
he still here?
J58. No, but J58, another producer from Irant, is here to help
Thank you.
us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for staying here. It is time for us to go. I'm asking people to please. I have to really, this is for real. I have to pay the band tonight. I owe them $200 and I owe the security $100. So please buy some tickets so that, or just send somebody tickets or something. No, if they buy tickets, they won't get the money till Tuesday, right? Because it's even right. Or send the money to Anissa so we can pay for the show. I did my part to pay. So we'll see what happens tonight. I'm honored. I'm hungry. I have to urinate. I don't have to defecate anymore. The feeling of feces coming is gone.
Oh, good. Do we have
I
time
feel
for
better.
one announcement?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. DC, February 27th, T. Gray, Caesar Bell, Ghetto to Glory, and Gina motherfucking Fletcher. DC, February 27th. They all will be at the Tokyo Pearl restaurant. Ticket information, cost, and all that stuff is posted. Thank you. And
Thank you,
do we
babe.
have time for pick of the week, or we want to postpone that to next week?
Next week. Let's
Okay,
go.
you got
God's
it.
not here. Come on.
Right,
Let's
right.
go. So we want to thank you, Irant Network, for being here. And now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. Gina Fletcher, Ja Logic, Anissa Raimi. I'll see you later. Hang up the phone, Anissa.
Okay. Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. We love you.
Thank you.
Just ordinary people, extraordinary people. Have a conversation with Gina. Have a conversation with Gina. Experience me. Yeah.